like the 11 points in 2.5 minutes by Zach Penn. Second-ranked Sheldon could win it all. But they have to end the Cinderella story of Gresham, whose coach jokes that this tournament appearance is the biggest thing since light rail linked them to the big city. Nothing small about the Gophers. Two teams looking for their first state crowns ever, Sheldon and Gresham. Next.
KATU Channel 2 Sports exclusive coverage of the OSAA U.S. Bank Boys Class 4A State Basketball Championship continues with live coverage of the final championship game. U.S. Bank is proud to bring you the 1992 Girls and Boys OSAA U.S. Bank High School Basketball Championship Tournaments. U.S. Bank is the sole sponsor of these championship games.
Welcome back to the Memorial Coliseum. The stage is set for the state championship battle between Sheldon and Gresham. And once again, our two sideline reporters will be on both benches. Let's check in with them now as we get ready for the state championship final. Jerry Murphy.
Well, Lou, I'm going to be following my team tonight. You can see them down there, the Gresham Gophers, going through their final warm-ups. Interesting team. They haven't been to the final 16 of the state tournament in 38 years. 1954 was the last time they were here. They're a big team. They're a talented team, but obviously a team with not a whole lot of experience at this level, and we can say much the same about Sheldon. Let's bring in Ron Carlson right now. Ron, come on over. Ron, tell us a little bit about Sheldon in the way of a preview.
Well, I think the thing that was most notable last night, Jerry, you and I were both at that game, was the fact that Sheldon showed a great amount of discipline, a great amount of poise during that ball game. Jefferson put a lot of pressure on this team. They responded very nicely in that situation. And, of course, with Zach Penn on the floor, a career-high 37 points. This guy can shoot from anywhere. Should be a very entertaining ball game from Sheldon's point of view.
Okay, Ron, thanks for your thoughts. And, Lou, let's send it back your way.
And we'll be back with player introductions right after this.
Championship basketball. The Oregon School Activities Association welcomes you to Portland's Memorial Coliseum. And this, the 74th Annual Boys State Basketball Championship, sponsored by U.S. Bank. For the 1992 Class 4A Boys Basketball Championship of the state of Oregon, it's the Sheldon Irish, champions of the Midwestern League, and the Gresham Gophers, champions of the Mount Hood Conference. As is traditional at the championship game, we would like to recognize the entire roster of each of the teams playing in this game. First, the roster of the visiting team, the Sheldon Irish. Junior forward, number 11, Mike Schauber. Sophomore guard, number 12, Jared Bullock. Senior center, number 15, Greg Wooten. Senior forward, number 21, Tate Wennerstrom. Sophomore center, number 30, Trevor Flaherty. Junior guard, number 10, Todd Wolder. And senior center, number 35, Garth Whaley. The starters, at forward, 6'4", a senior, number 32, Zach Penn. At forward, 6'4", senior, number 22, Eric Carter. The center for the Irish, 6'5", a junior, number 24, Mike Hansen. And a guard, 5'11", a junior, number 14, Michael Richardson. And at guard, 6'2", a senior, number 20, Scott Whelan. The Irish are coached by Chuck John. And now the roster of the home team in this championship game, the Gresham Gophers. Senior forward, number 14, Lincoln Grimes. Junior guard, number 22, Andy Lessard. Junior guard, number 23, Brian Brooks. Junior guard, number 24, Greg Lunday. Junior center, number 32, Josh Godwin. Senior center, number 50, Troy Nagel. Senior forward, number 42, Brian Ludwig. The starters for the Gophers. 6'4", senior forward, number 30, John Cromer. The other forward, 6'5", senior, number 31, Dan Meckel. At center for the Gophers, 6'6", a senior, number 34, Adam Walker. At guard, 6'1", senior, number 12, Curtis Loeb. And at guard, 5'10", senior, number 10, John Valdez. Head coach of the Gophers, Larry Knudsen. The officials for this game, Lee Sparks and Steve Scott.
And there are the starting lineups. There's the Gresham crowd. The excitement is building, and tip-off is just a moment away.
Where is the one and only place you can get treats like these? Dairy Queen. Who else treats you so right with a special like this? The legendary Peanut Buster Parfait is now just $1.29. Lay into layers of Dairy Queen soft serve, thick hot fudge, and peanuts aplenty. It's all here, and it's all yours now for just $1.29. We treat you right. Dairy Queen.
At Safeway, we go far and wide to bring quality and selection close to home for you. For example, through the back door of every Safeway store comes the freshest Northwest seafood you can buy. Safeway, where you'll find freshness right down the line.
This KATU Channel 2 Sports exclusive is brought to you in part by Les Schwab Tires. Our business is earning your trust. By Teledyne Watchang Albany. Watchang means great development. By Safeway. See the difference. Expect the best. Safeway. By U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is the sole sponsor of these OSAA U.S. Bank State Basketball Championship games. And by Smith's Home Furnishings. Because nobody cares like Smith's.
There are our officials, Lee Sparks and Steve Scott. They'll call the game for the state championship of 4A boys basketball. And as you said in our first game, it's a big moment for them, too.
Well, it sure is. I'm sure they're excited, as are the players, and so are we.
Lou Gellos, Ken Harris, Ron Carlson, and Jerry Murphy with you. Here are the starting lineups for Sheldon and Gresham. Richardson, Whelan, Carter, Hansen, and Pent. Pent, an incredible performance earlier in the tournament when he hit 11 points in just 2.5 minutes the other night. And you saw the starters for Gresham as well. I think the first thing you're going to notice if you keep an eye on the faces is just how businesslike Sheldon in green appears. Their players are serious. They don't even appear really to be having fun as they're playing. They've been all business because they've been pointed to just this game. They've had this goal. Gresham, on the other hand, is a pretty loose bunch and have really been rocking through the tournament.
Well, I think that Sheldon's been up here on a mission. I think Gresham probably didn't really expect to get this far, so that's maybe why they're a little bit looser. Two big green shirts up there on that rebound for Sheldon. That's their strength.
Corner. Yes, that's a three-pointer for number 14, Michael Richardson. Inside, that's Cromer. Steal. Cromer again. And he's fouled as he tries to move to the basket. Adam Walker with the steal, who gave it back to Cromer.
Well, generally, the first 2 or 3 minutes of the state championship game can be a little hectic. Both teams, obviously, a little case of nerves, and they have to settle down and get into things.
There's Cromer. So Gresham takes it out. Walker with it. Out front to Valadez. Valadez has lots of room.
Sheldon's in their man-to-man defense, and say we'll probably see Gresham in their zone.
That's Dan Meckel connecting. He suffered from tonsillitis all week, but it hasn't affected him on the floor. His points and rebounds are below his averages, but he's still been a solid contributor for Gresham. From the corner, the same shot that Richardson hit before. This time he missed. Cromer has the rebound. That trio of Meckel and Cromer and Valadez, the seniors, have all averaged about 16 points a game. So they've been able to spread it around. Gresham is very balanced.
Plus Adam Walker, that fellow there, was also an all-league performer there in the Mount Hood Conference.
Richardson to Wieland, and now that's number 32, Zach Pent. And boy, can he light it up from three-point range. Richardson here. Wieland. Nothing but glass. Good rebound, but Valadez is challenging from behind. Sheldon controls. That's Wieland again. And he hits it. Scott Wieland. Here comes Cromer. Hit from behind by Hansen. Richardson. Wieland down to the corner. There's Pent, and he hits for three. Look out if he gets hot doing that. Close game the other night. Sheldon opened the second half, and he hit 3 straight three-pointers. Here's Valadez. The left-hander hits for 3. Oh, are we going to have a shootout or what?
I think they've settled down already, don't you? We're 3 minutes into the game.
Another 3. That's Penn again from the other side. Valadez. Ahead to Curtis Loeb. That's Cromer now. Inside to Meckel. In and out. Pent leads Scott Wieland. Wieland himself over Cromer. Cromer couldn't get the rebound. Behind the back by Walker, but Pent control. Pent in the paint, and he hits.
Well, that's why you don't like to save those balls going out of bounds there on your defensive end, because too often they end up in the hands of the offensive player for the easy basket.
10-5, Sheldon, the second-ranked team in the state. Valadez to Cromer. Valadez to Meckel. Meckel tries to work his way to the baseline and does. He's fouled by Mike Hansen.
Fine offensive move. Showed the ball, took the quick dribble to the baseline around number 24, Mike Hansen, for a nice shot for Dan Meckel.
There's Meckel. 8 points last night. He averaged 16 during the regular season, so that tonsillitis affected him a little bit. He had 9 points in the first game. His only real big outburst was 19 points against Clackamas when he hit 8 for 9 from the field. He hits that free throw, and at 4-minute mark of the first quarter, 10-8. The Irish lead by 2.
Gresham plays what you might call somewhat of a matchup zone. In other words, each man is kind of guarding an area, but they try to put their men according to where Sheldon puts the offensive players.
Pent couldn't connect the 3. Valadez comes away with it, but he's got to wait for help. Once he has it, he spots his teammate, number 24, Greg Lundy.
Greg Lundy, kind of the designated shooter off the bench for Gresham.
Traveling against Sheldon, and the Eugene club now has a turnover, and they're trailing for the first time 11-10. And with that, a timeout, our first of the ball game. Gresham down 10-5, now has an 11-10 lead. We'll be back with the final 3:38 of the first quarter after this. Back at the Memorial Coliseum, the state championship game, Sheldon and Gresham. They started out with a couple of turnovers on each team, and then nothing but run and gun since then.
Well, it surely has. I think this is the kind of game we're going to see. An up-and-down game. As I say, Sheldon has a little more power, Gresham a little more finesse, but they both do like to get up and down the floor.
Saw those two Gopher fans wearing those Gello sweaters I gave them before the game.
Those were those sophomores again, I think, back here from South Salem.
That's right. There's Meckel with it. Now we have number 50, Troy Noggle, in the game. There's Meckel. Iron, rebound by Sheldon. Here's Michael Richardson, the junior guard. Cross court, Scott Whelan. Tate Wennerstrom in the game now. Back to Whelan. There's Richardson. Zach Pent back on top to Richardson. Here's Pent. He's hit a bundle of those threes. Inside Wennerstrom. Tate Wennerstrom, 6'3", 195, the senior. He had 2 points against Jefferson the other night. He's already matched that. And while we watch Gresham, let's check in with Ron Carlson, who's at the Sheldon bench.
With a foul called there, Lou, I just want to tell you that that's exactly what the coach wanted. He told Sheldon they're relying too much on the quick three-point shot. He wanted the ball worked around a little bit that time down the court. They executed that one perfectly, just the way he drew it up.
Dan Meckel will go to the free throw line. 6'5", 195, a senior.
Well, we see the depth of both of these teams are already 4 or 5 minutes in the game, bringing in people off the bench, and quality players.
Well, and no doubt the way the tempo of this game is, they got to make some substitutions.
Right, and actually both teams have been doing this throughout the tournament. I suppose maybe, hopefully, in anticipation of this game tonight, and be ready for it.
7 points now for Meckel in the ball game, and Sheldon brings it up. Ron Carlson?
I just wanted to say that I would love to have a guy like Coach Johns be with me at the bargaining table. This guy is cool no matter what the score is in the huddles down here.
There's Pent. Leaves it short. Cromer tries to tip it to Valadez, but instead, number 20 for Sheldon comes up with it, Scott Whelan, and Valadez fouls him. Jerry Murphy, do you have something to add from the Gresham end?
Yeah, Lou mentioned Coach Johns for Sheldon. Coach Knudsen for Gresham is just the opposite. He's already cracked a couple of jokes and directed one toward me in the huddle. He's got his guys loose. They're ready to play, but they're loose.
Yeah, the faces will tell you the story that the Sheldon players, as Pent fakes the three, tend to mirror their coach. Very serious, very calm. The Gresham players mirror their coach, kind of happy-go-lucky almost. I know those are kind of overstating it, but at least you get the personality differences of this team. Pent misses the three, but Sheldon still gets the rebound, but no follow there. Meckel with the rebound, and Meckel is the early force for Gresham offensively and defensively.
Yes, he started off, so far this is his best outing in the tournament. And again, he's an all-league player, possibly an all-state player.
Valadez. Greg Lunday takes it all the way. He's already matched the total he had in the last game of the tournament when they played South Salem.
Well, it's a nice luxury for coaches to have, to be able to bring kids like that off the bench, bam, bam, they give you a couple quick baskets. And I say both these teams have those kind of players.
And he hits again, Zach Pent.
He doesn't seem to have any great preference. You know, that time he was kind of on the right baseline. He shot the ball from the left wing. He can do it from all over.
He tried to steal there, didn't get it, but his teammate got it for him, and now that's Pent controlling. Pent, 37 points last night. Here's Whelan. Dipsy doodles through three Gophers, but can't hit. Cromer has the rebound and will take it himself. Now he wants to gain control and give it to Valadez, and does. Valadez, in fact, the players are talking a lot now. Valadez was challenged by Richardson to take the three a moment ago. He did and hit it. And they're still talking now. There's Valadez scooting by Richardson.
Well, Michael Richardson is noted a little bit for his conversations on the floor. I think he tries to get at his opponent a little bit.
That's Richardson there, 14 in green, who is playing off of Valadez, who's letting the final seconds tick down here in the first quarter.
Valdez is a cool customer, and he's had a great tournament here for Gresham.
Iron. And Richardson at the horn is short, and we're 1/4 of the way through the state title game. The Gresham Gophers 15, the Sheldon Irish 14. We'll be back in a moment. There's Coach Larry Knudsen wringing his hands, talking to the officials, wiping his brow. He's so excited. Well, there's calm, cool, collected Chuck Johns.
Yes, it's true. A little story of Larry. Larry told me last night he's been coming to the tournament for 34 years. And his goal was to get here as a coach. and it's been realized, and my gosh, the first time he's here, he's in the final game.
Speaking of Larry Knutson, the Gresham coach, Chuck Johns has been here before. You saw him calm and collected. He was a starting center as a sophomore for North Bend back in '59. Now he's back as a coach in the title game. There's Lunday. Big rebound by Eric Carter, the football linebacker. Richardson.
Several pretty good football players on both teams.
Greg Wooten misses. Adam Walker grabbed the rebound, and here's Valadez. Walker. And we've got a whistle as the game clock has stopped. The game clock was not ticking, and we've got a clock problem, and they've got to work that out, I think. We also had a foul. Let's see if they can get it going here. Larry Knutson.
They're showing us 9 seconds into the quarter.
And there it goes. The clock is now working now. So we had a quick delay there, but now we're going again. Sheldon with the ball. There's Richardson. Inside to Wooten, who has come into the game. There's Whelan. Back to Richardson.
Well, you can probably see the movement on the part of the Sheldon players, particularly trying to get Zach Kent loose. Keep that Gresham zone from knowing where he's at.
Brian Ludwig with the rebound for Gresham. Greg Lunday brings it up, and there's Valadez again. To Walker. Lunday to Valadez. There's Dan Meckel. Inside is Walker trying to push his way in, but he walked.
Nice pass inside, but Dan got a little excited and shuffled the feet.
7 minutes to play in the first half. A 1-point lead for the Gresham Gophers. Inside, and that's Greg Wooten. The Irish regain the advantage.
That was really a well-executed play, and obviously a nice pass from the point guard, Scott Whelan.
Lunday stopped, and behind him was Scott Whelan, who just ran into him. Jerry Murphy's been keeping tabs on Gresham's defense.
Well, you mentioned Zach Pent. He is the focal point of Gresham's defensive efforts. Coach Knutson told his guys to be in constant communication with each other all the time. Where is Pent? Talk to each other. Let each other know where he is. That's what they're doing, and then they let the other guy get the bucket the last time down.
Adam Walker for three. Whelan with the rebound.
Adams' last 2 shots have kind of gone in and rimmed out. And actually, even though he's Gresham's tallest player, he's also probably their best perimeter shooter.
Whelan to Richardson. Inside, nice touch pass out to Whelan at the top of the circle. Good rebound follow by Eric Carter. Where's number 22? Because it was the largest physical jersey that they had, and he needed it. I don't know if he was joking, but he says he wants to be a garbage man when he grows up. He got a garbage bucket there with the follow.
Yes, he did. Well, he's
slightly tipped there, and Sheldon's coming the other way. Here's Richardson with Valadez on it. And
I thought we had a little travel there.
Managed to scoop it up, and there's Carter. Meckel with the rebound.
Carter and Whelan are, by Coach Johns, Sheldon considered his 2 best defensive players. And you can see Carter's on Meckel inside. Got his hands full, but he's done a nice job so far.
Walker gets it in the corner to Lunday. Lunday's in a little bit of trouble, so loops it out to Valadez. There's the three-pointer. Pent has the rebound.
Gresham's cooled off here, obviously, and allow Sheldon to build up a 3-point lead.
Nice feed inside. Number 22 Carter couldn't hit, but Zach Pent could. And Meckel picks up the foul.
Nice feed inside. And then the good rebound by Zach. Well, there's a lot of talk around the tournament as to is Zach Pent or is he not a Division I basketball player? I would like to think that he's got to have a place he can play.
There's John Cromer. Tips it off the front of the iron, and Pent comes down with it. Richardson. Met by Cromer, who nearly tipped that ball away from Greg Wooten, and now Richardson fires from long range. Walker had the rebound. It knocks out of bounds, and Sheldon will maintain possession. Both teams like to substitute, but in checking the box scores for the game so far, as Richardson fires from the top of the circle, he hits the three. Gresham will substitute freely, but seems to play a core group of 6 or 7 guys. Sheldon will substitute, but tends to spread the minutes out a more amount of 8 or 9 players. Could that be a factor in the last game of the tournament?
Well, I think so. I think both teams, like I say, have used 7 or 8 players or 9. Sheldon has probably been a little freer with their substitutions.
Dan Meckel with the rebound. And Eric Carter, number 22, charged with the foul. There he is. Eric got some criticisms from some of the coaches in this tournament previous to this game because of his physical play. Some people thought he should have been whistled for a few more fouls.
I don't think you can blame the player. You might think the officials aren't calling it tight enough, but I'm not sure you can blame the player.
But you heard the criticism as well, I'm sure.
Definitely.
Well, Cromer couldn't hit. Sheldon's in the middle of a 10-0 run here against Gresham. Now they could make it 12-0, and they do. Greg Wooten, 12 straight points for Sheldon, and now they've opened up an 11-point advantage.
Well, Gresham needs to get the ball inside here and get a little better shot. A little patience.
You know, they've gotten the ball inside a couple of times, but they just haven't hit. Meckel is the only thing going for them.
That's right. But they still got to keep getting it in there and either get the good shot or get fouled.
Back iron off of a Sheldon Irishman. And now Sheldon's Irishman number 20, Scott Whelan, goes out of bounds. And the Gophers need a breather. So do we. 26-17, 3:07 to play in the first half. Back to Memorial Coliseum after this. Well, the Gresham Gophers have hit kind of a cold streak here. 12-0 run by Sheldon, and that's why Sheldon has a 26-17 lead.
Well, again, Sheldon did some of the things they do best, was they kicked the ball back outside after going inside with the pass, made a couple three-pointers, missed a couple shots, grabbed the rebounds, put them back in, and that's what they do very well.
You caught a glimpse of Coach Chuck Johns, whose team finished 3rd last year. Now they're trying to go for all the marbles, and they have control of this one to this point. Gresham's Adam Walker to Cromer. Cromer is fronted by Pent. Kicks out to Meckel, inside Walker. It's out of bounds. That gives us an opportunity to say hi to Ron Carlson.
Well, hello to you, Lou. Hey, take a look at Nick Carter and his defense on Meckel. Coach John said he's doing a great job. He wants him to keep it up, deny him the ball. Don't front him, though, he said. We want you on the backside of him, between him and the hoop. But he's done a great job on Meckel so far on defense, as you pointed out earlier.
That's the second foul on Dan Meckel. So Sheldon will take over. 26-17. We've got 2:39 to go in the first half. We want to welcome our viewers watching tonight's telecast in the Eugene area, home of the Sheldon Irish on KVAL television. We're glad you're with us. And Sheldon scores again. Greg Wooten. They're not booing, they're shouting Wooten, Wooten.
Wooten, right. Well, Sheldon's found a little seam in that zone in there that the Gresham players haven't been able to figure out how to match up with yet. That's why they've gotten a couple easy baskets.
Meckel didn't follow it. Sheldon got the rebound. Wooten. Here's Zach Pent trying to work his way around Ludney. Carter back to Penn. He's open for 3. Nice rebound by Meckel.
Well, Gresham plays in a league that most of the teams zone, and I think maybe this pressure man-to-man, if Sheldon's bothering Gresham a little bit, and they're losing some of their patience.
Valadez. Pent with the rebound.
You see, they're shooting the ball off too quick.
Richardson. 9 points last night against Jefferson. Eight points tonight. Meckel. Boy, he's all Gresham has going right now.
One of the things that Dan has the ability to do is to also elevate on his shot, which he shoots the ball over the top of people.
Richardson. Lunday with the rebound. Lunday into Adam Walker. Nice baseline move, can't get it to drop, and Penn has the rebound. Well, they're getting some shots, they're just not hitting them.
Well, that time I think Adam felt he got hacked on the arm. I couldn't tell if he did or not, but you're right, they got the ball low, which is what they need to do, but you got to convert.
Quick moving first half. We're under 30 seconds to go here in the second quarter.
Well, been very few fouls. Neither team in the one-on-one. That speeds the game up a little bit. Would you want to guess they might go to Mr. Pent on this?
I would think Pent is a target, and that's Pent there. Turn around, a little short. 5 seconds to play. Walker sees it, knows he's got time, and almost throws it out of bounds. And you know what? He took a step instead, traveling. A host of substitutions here by both teams for the final 4/10 of a second of the first half. Sheldon will have time to just whirl and fire on the inbounds play. And that honor belongs to Todd Walter, who hits just glass. That's the end of the first half. The Sheldon Irish took control with a 12-0 spurt midway through the second quarter, and that's created the advantage they enjoy at the break. 30-19. Let's join Ron Carlson with Coach Chuck Johns.
Well, Coach, your team, you got to be very proud of the way they responded once again tonight after Gresham made that run on you.
Right. I think it's going to be kind of a run-type game. They're going to run on us, and we'll get a run on them. I just think you just have to try to keep your composure as much as possible when a team does make a run on you.
Are you always this cool, calm, and collected no matter what's going on?
I try.
Okay, thanks a lot, Coach.
Okay.
See you in the second half. Lou?
Thank you very much, Ron. We're at halftime, and our halftime activities, including that Sheldon band, will continue right after this.
For the first time ever at Smith's Home Furnishings, we're holding over a sales event for a third consecutive week. It's our spectacular employee sale, the sale that lets you buy at the same low prices we offer our own employees. Thousands of Smith's customers have already enjoyed incredible savings by purchasing furniture, appliances, and electronics at employee prices. Now you have one final chance to do the same thing. But don't wait. Employee prices will not be held over again. So come see us today at Smith's.
If you've even thought about buying a new Toyota this year, you should know factory prices are going up April 1st. Thomason Toyota has ordered 750 new cars and trucks. And our boatload sale is your last chance to get them at the lower price. Like the popular Toyota Camry. Right now we have 44 LEs for just $15,477. But when March is over, that's it. So is the boatload sale. And if you don't come see me today, I can't save you any money.
If it's oldies on FM, it must be 97.1 KISN.
Do you like good music? Oh, no.
All fun oldies, only on Kissin' FM.
Well, shake it up, baby, now. Shake it up, baby. Twist and shout. Ah, I feel good.
For good times and great oldies, keep it on 97.1 FM. Classic Oldies, KISN.
Well, Gresham scored only 4 points in the second quarter, and Sheldon scored 16. That's why the Irish have the lead. You know, we said at the outset that it's been a long time since Gresham was here. A very long time. You've got to go back 38 years, but that doesn't stop our next guest from coming back because he was here 38 years ago, and he had a very important job. He's with Jerry Murphy right now. Jerry?
Lou, the year was 1954. Bud Monis was the coach of the Gresham Gophers in that year, and you guys made it to state, and strangely enough, that was the last time it happened until this year. Well, what are your big recollections of that?
Well, that was a great year for us. We had some great kids, and we were 22-3 going into the state tournament. We'd beaten Milwaukee for their only defeat, and so we played Salem the first round. They only had one high school in Salem then. We beat Salem in the first round, and then the second round we happened to draw Milwaukee again. We had split during the season. They'd beaten us at Gresham. We had beaten them at Milwaukee. But they beat us in that quarterfinals, and then they went on and won the state championship. So that's as close as Gresham had got to a state championship in all the years of basketball at Gresham High.
And you've remained a Gopher fan, tried and true this whole time. I noticed during the game you're up there in your seat a couple of rows above us, jotting down notes on that little card. What are you writing down during this game?
Well, I was just writing down some of the things. I was thinking back, that team of 54, they won during their 3 years of playing. They won 61 games and lost only 15. So I was pretty proud of that group. Now, a bunch of them are here tonight, like Cliff Sheldon, who later coached at Central Catholic. He's here. Gary Roy, he coached at Cleveland and also an assistant at Grant under Stillwell. Gary Curtis, he won a couple state championships for Scappoose. Bobby Hancock, I could go down the list. And there are a number of them that are here tonight, hoping the Gophers will do a little bit better than what we've done right now this half. But they've had a great year.
You've already got a lot to be proud of. Do you have any idea it would be this long before they got back again?
No, I never did. 1966, we got beat by Sunset in a playoff game, and Bob Hawes was coaching then, and that's the last time Gresham approached the tournament. We lost by 1 point to Sunset, and Sunset took second that year in the state, so they had a good ball club too.
You've seen a lot of changes in this game. If you were needed to come out here and coach right now, could you still do it? Is the game still much as it was when you coached it? Are the players different? Are the plays different?
Well, they jump a little higher now than they did then, but as far as the screening, the zones, the pressing, that much hasn't changed. You still have to play tough defense to win. Tonight, Gresham's defense is a little lax in the midpoint, where they've been usually strong, and Sheldon's got a lot of easy lay-in baskets that normally Gresham doesn't give up.
Bud, we're going to have to send you to the halftime locker room. You might have a few things to tell the guys, so we're going to send you on your way. It's been a joy talking to you, and you're a walking chunk of Gresham Gopher history. Wish you the best of luck.
Well, I tell you, I've enjoyed my years at Gresham. They're great people, and these kids have been great to the Gresham fans this year. A tremendous year they've had, regardless. But they're going to come back the second half. They're going to play better ball the second half.
Heard it straight from the coach, Lou. Let's go back to you.
That's a classic. Thanks to Bud and Jerry. 30-19, our halftime score. Our halftime activities continue after this.
Once you taste new Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Nuggets, you'll forget about post-grape nuts.
Hey, this tastes better than, you know.
Oh, yeah, better than our old nuggets.
Right, it's much better than, what's its name?
Tastes so much better. People prefer new Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Nuggets by 2 to 1. 2 to 1.
What were we talking about?
We were talking?
New Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Nuggets. The taste will make you forget your old nuggets.
Some people eat only one fruit or vegetable a day, while others eat 2 or 3. But for a healthy diet, Safeway and the American Cancer Society suggest that you eat 5 a day. At Safeway, we make it easy to choose 5 with our outstanding selection of fresh, delicious produce. And we can show you how to fit in fruit and vegetables, even when you're juggling a busy schedule. It's a simple trick. 5 a day from Safeway. And the rest of your diet just seems to fall into place.
Welcome back to the Memorial Coliseum. You know, this has been a very strange state tournament in one way because of the number of players and a number of teams that have had physical problems. Players that for one reason or another have been unable to play. Well, one of the players is with us from Wilson, which didn't advance quite to the championship game, but you were the defending champions, and Brett McConnell is with us. You didn't get to play. The folks at home can't see it, but your knee is all wrapped up here. You had a real problem.
Yeah, I got hurt in the 6th game in the season and had to go through an ACL reconstruction about a week and a half ago. So it's been kind of tough, but I'm just hoping I can get back to play my college freshman year next year. And tougher injuries are to Jefferson, who lost both 2 starters, you know, right during the critical time of the tournament. So there's been a lot of injuries this season.
And there are injuries that came to PIL teams, quite strangely enough. Now, what about your knee, and what do the college coaches tell you?
Well, they're still interested, mainly on the fact they're not giving out any Division I scholarships. You know, I mainly look at Division III NAIA ball. So they're still interested, and I'm, you know, just hoping, working on my knee so I can play next year.
Okay, well, Brett, best of luck to you. Thanks for dropping by.
All right.
Enjoy the second half, as I know you will.
Thanks a
and
lot.
Why don't you watch the highlights with us as long as you're here? Let's check the first half highlights and see really what happened in this ball game. It was close at the beginning. Sheldon grabbed the lead initially, but then Gresham was able to rally. This is Zach Pent, who hit the three-point shots, and he's done it all tournament long, did so again here, and that gave Sheldon an early advantage. Gresham made a run, though, at one point. John Valadez heard the talking from number 14, Michael Richardson there, who dared him to take the three. He did, and he hit. The next time down the court, Valadez didn't take it. He dished it out, and that's where his teammate, number 24, Greg Lunday, was able to connect. But that was about all Gresham had going. In the second quarter, Sheldon off on a 12-0 run. Michael Richardson hitting the three-point bomb. And then later on, inside, they were able to work to Greg Wooten. And that 12-0 run is what produced the Irish lead that they now enjoy. Finally, Michael Richardson inside. Meckel has 11 points for Gresham after the first half. Pent has 10 points and 7 rebounds for Sheldon, and the Irish have the advantage 30-19. Let's go over and visit with Jerry Murphy. Jerry?
Okay, Lou, Gresham head coach Larry Knudsen is with us. Larry, tell me what went wrong in the first half. You guys couldn't get it inside, and that's the way you like to play.
And we could get it inside. We didn't look very well. We didn't move the ball. We didn't reverse the ball very well, and we didn't get into our offense. We're a little tired. We're a little bit flat, and we got to come out and play a lot better 16 minutes this half.
You need to shoot better than 29%, too.
Is that what we shot? I didn't know. I knew we didn't shoot very well, and we didn't take our shot selection wasn't very good either. So we got to move the ball better, and they're a good team, and we got to shut them down at the other end. We can't let them have any putbacks. You know, they get some offensive rebounds, and we fouled them on one. So we got to play better defense and hit the boards harder. Both ends.
Okay, Larry Knudsen, best of luck. We'll see you. Lou, send it back to you.
Well, he seems to know what the problems are, and if his team can follow up on his instructions, they could get right back in it. The third quarter is set to begin in about 17 seconds. We'll be right back.
KATU Channel 2 Sports exclusive coverage of the OSAA U.S. Bank Boys Class 4A State Basketball Championship continues with the second half of the final championship game. Brought to you in part by Teledyne Watchang Albany. Watchang means great development. By Safeway. See the difference. Expect the best. Safeway. By U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is the sole sponsor of these OSAA U.S. Bank State Championship games. By Smith's Home Furnishings, because nobody cares like Smith's. And by Les Schwab Tires. Our business is earning your trust.
Get a chance to. Welcome back to the Memorial Coliseum. 30-19, the Irish have the lead. It's time to check our halftime statistics before the second half begins. You already heard Jerry Murphy allude to the fact that Gresham was just horrible from the field in the first half, and that really is a big difference in this ball game.
Well, the stats showed all, that not only the shooting, but look down at the offensive rebounds. Sheldon 7 of them, and Gresham has 0. That has got to change, or Gresham is not going to be able to get into this contest.
Individually, Zach Pent with 7 rebounds to go along with his 10 points. Michael Richardson, number 14, the guard, with 8 points, and leading the way for Gresham, Meckel with 11 points. In the first half, Gresham didn't score for 8 minutes while Sheldon put together that 12-0 run, and they start the second half quickly with number 31, Dan Meckel, hitting his 13th points of the ball game.
Well, Gresham all year long has been a second-half basketball team. They've been behind a number of times, and they've proven they can come out and play. But Michael Richardson just threw the challenge back at him, didn't he? But don't give up on these Gresham Gophers.
Meckel. Little fadeaway short by Troy Noggle, the 6'6", 225-pound senior. Wieland to Richardson. Wieland again, and he's open. Nobody even close to him. Nothing but iron, and Noggle has the rebound.
Last time down the floor again, so that shot came a little too quickly for Gresham. They've got to penetrate with the basketball, either via the dribble like that or at the pass.
Curtis Loeb. And there's Pent. Wieland, Richardson, Carter, Richardson. Has Gresham changed their defense here?
Well, not really. They're in what we call the matchup zone. So lots of times it looks like they're man-to-man. Sometimes it looks like zone, but it's really that kind of combination of both of those defenses. It's not a real pressure defense, so it can give you difficulties at times against people who shoot the ball well.
Meckel shoots, didn't follow his shot, and Sheldon has the rebound. Carter for three.
Well, that's exactly what we're saying. See, the matchup can't always get there in time, and it's going to give up good shots.
And Gresham wants to talk about it now as they find themselves behind by 15 points. More from Memorial Coliseum in the 4A Boys State Championship Final after this.
I'm here to tell you about Reliance Electric Portland Service Center, the premier electric motor and printed circuit board repair facility in the Northwest.
Hey, don't forget, we do mechanical repairs, too.
On everything for pulp, paper, construction.
And mention the Reliance Renewal Parts Stocking Center.
Reliance Electric is your
one-stop service shop. We'll minimize downtime, and we offer
quality Reliance service.
Good job, little guy.
For world-class service, the Reliance Electric Portland Service Center.
At U.S. Bank, we believe some of life's most important lessons are learned outside the classroom. Of course, math isn't one of them.
Gresham has to be discussing strategy, and Jerry Murphy was listening in.
Lou Gresham, Coach Larry Knudsen, finally got a little bit forceful with his players, a little bit frustrated. He berated him for a lack of patience and carelessness on defense and offense. They need to look for better shots, and they need to be more intense defensively. That's what he told them.
And while they look for that shot, how will Sheldon counter? Let's check in with Ron Carlson.
Well, Lou, I'll tell you that on the opposite side of things, Coach Johns is very pleased with his team's patience. And he says, keep looking for the good shots. We're getting them inside, and I like the way you guys are handling the ball right now. Lots of compliments from this end.
Michael Richardson, number 14, whistled with his second foul. He hit Troy Noggle.
Well, you can see Gresham's obvious attempt to get the ball inside there.
Cromer. And he's clearly shoved as he's trying to drive to the hoop. Eric Carter doing his linebacker impression, which fits him very well since that's what he played on the football team.
There's probably two players in Gresham's team that really has the ability to penetrate off the dribble, get inside that Sheldon defense. That's John Valadez, and the other is John Cromer, and John's just got to take that upon himself to do a little more of it.
Whelan got the foul instead of Carter. And that time Pent gets the foul and twisted ankle along with it. So look at the face. They're ahead by 15 points, and they have grimaces on their faces. That one probably because he twisted his ankle, but you just don't see him crack a smile too often.
No, they're a very serious-minded crew. And they're getting the job done.
Carter to Whelan. Pent couldn't hold on to it, but that's okay. Carter was there. Or rather, Hansen, I should say. And that'll be over and back. Richardson thought it was deflected by a Gresham player. That's his protest, but it's not going to go anywhere. Cromer to Valadez.
Well, there hasn't been a team from the Midwestern Conference win the state championship since Barney Holland's North Eugene Highlanders did it in 76 and 77 with Danny Ainge.
Danny Ainge, right.
And I think the Sheldon Irish have come up here with a mission. And they're about 2/3 of the way home.
4:59 to play in the third quarter, and they lead by 15. Now substitutions for Sheldon. Number 24, Mike Hansen comes out of the ball game, and number 15, Greg Wooten, comes in. Also, Michael Richardson leaves. And Todd Wolter comes in for Sheldon. Here's Noggle, who would like a career in law enforcement after high school and college.
He got a little late start on the season because of Gresham's usual successful football season, plus he sustained an injury and was a little late at coming out. Really didn't get going here until January. He's contributed a lot to this Gresham team.
That's Wolter.
Out to Whelan and back to Walter, who tries the 3. Valadez. Meckel wanted the alley-oop, but Valadez didn't see him. Cromer off his head, between his legs. Lunday inside to Noggle, and Noggle takes that 6'6", 225-pound body to the hole. (36-24). There's Adam Walker back into the game. Look at that sweatband on his elbow there. Well, we'll detail that for you in a moment. Walter looks to Whelan. Pent inside to Carter. Carter doesn't have anything, but somehow gets a shot off anyway. And a great tip by number 15, Greg Wooten, the 6'5", 180-pound senior. It was his dad's birthday yesterday, and he's trying to celebrate with a state title today. The follow for Gresham.
There's one of the things that John Cromer does very well is follow up missed shots. I think that's about his first putback tonight, and he's got to do more of that for him.
They've really got to crash the boards. Meckel does there.
Now, Sheldon's awfully physical on the board, and there's not a lot being called out there by the officials, so Gresham's just going to have to do more of the same for themselves.
Cromer for 3. And Adam Walker is there to watch it fall out of bounds, and Gresham will take over, I believe. Was off of a Sheldon player, Eric Carter there, number 22. It was, so Cromer will take it. Play number 2, which means Lunday. Cromer and Pent picks up his second foul.
Well, it was a good try by Zach to get over there and help out his teammate who got beaten off the dribble, but he was just a fraction late to the charging foul. But again, we're seeing John Cromer kind of take things in his own hands here a little bit and try to get the ball into the basket area and in around the hoop, and had some success that time.
Cromer had 12 points last night against South Salem, and he had 9 defensive rebounds, 11 rebounds total. And in the first game against Bend, Pendleton, he had 11 rebounds, and so he's got to do that again to help get Gresham back into it. Now they've cut the lead to 10. Sheldon ahead by 10 with 3:12 to play in the third quarter. This is Whelan. Inside, but knocked away by Cromer to Valadez. Valadez trying to push it, and he's knocked behind by Pent, and that's Pent's third foul. He saw the ball, tried to get it from behind, but he couldn't. And Pent will have to come out, and that means Tate Wennerstrom, the 6'3", 195-pound senior, checks in.
Well, it was one of those decisions that Zach would like to redo, but he had got his hand caught in the cookie jar.
Cromer. They move the ball around to Walker. Valadez now. Valadez plugged up. Deal the other side. Lunday. There's Walker. You can hear him yell as he's fouled. And there's that wristband kind of up on his forearm, on his right wrist there, or right arm. The sweatband belonged to Karl Malone of the Utah Jazz. He gave it to Walker, and Walker has kept it ever since. Did not wear it during the regular season, but brought it out for the playoffs and says he will never wash it.
It looks like it.
And it looks like it. You're right. Jerry Murphy.
I think we're just finally seeing some signs of life inside from Gresham, from Adam Walker and John Cromer and Dan Meckel. They account for 47 points per game for Gresham. They got very little from them in the first half, and they're going to need a lot from them here in the second half to turn this game around. They're starting to get it.
Well, Walker hits his 2 free throws, and now we have an 8-point ball game.
Well, this is just exactly what Gresham has done a lot of times this season. So you don't go through the season and lose one game without having this kind of competitive spirit.
Sheldon drive by number 10, Todd Walter, but it's picked off inside. Gresham now in the middle of a 9-2 run, which has got them right back in the ballgame. Cromer
There's Cromer again.
Baseline, nice move by Cromer. Make that an 11-2 run. Chuck Johns is off the bench. Does he want a timeout? No, he wants to run a play inside.
Oh, I think a turnover.
Cromer fronted the Sheldon player, Tate Wennerstrom, and now Chuck Johns will call a timeout. He wants his Eugene group to regroup.
A little impatience there by the Sheldon guards, but also what we've got is a tremendous increase in the intensity level of the Gresham people, especially their bigger people.
You saw the intensity of Chuck Johns there, too, when he was talking to his one of his players there, Scott Whelan.
Wasn't he the one at halftime said he tried to stay calm all the time? Well, he's just like the rest of us. When it gets tough, once in a while you got to get a little excited.
Well, speaking of getting excited, the Gresham coach, this is one of the stories the Gresham players were telling us. Their funniest moment of the season was when their coach fainted because he was getting so excited and yelling on the sidelines.
Well, it happens. I wouldn't say that I've ever fainted, but you come close to hyperventilating, and maybe yell a little too much, and the air isn't coming in and like it's supposed to, and you get a little lightheaded. And
that was in the Barlow playoff game, I think.
Yeah.
And, here's Cromer's baseline move.
Taking real advantage of his quickness. The Sheldon people are able to muscle him inside, but when he gets outside, puts the ball on the floor, then he has the advantage.
Well, Cromer scored 21 points against Clackamas, and that was right when Gresham was in trouble, and he just took over. And now maybe he's doing the same thing here. That's Cromer. Valadez over to Lunde. Cromer. Short, Walker can't get it, and Greg Wooten does. Sheldon comes back. What did they talk about, Ron Carlson?
Coach said, look it, you passed up a shot, you passed up a shot. He said it to four guys. He said, when you've got the open shot, let's take it. Stop being so shy on offense. Let's get back to what got us here.
38-32, a 6-point ball game. Gresham scored only 4 points in the second quarter, but have really come together here in the third. Walter to Whelan. Now over to Carter.
Well, if you also remember, Coach Johns talked about this game being one of runs. And, you know, I think he's hit the nail on the head here. We're seeing the Gresham run. Now the key is, can Sheldon turn around and counter it?
Meckel was guarding Wooten, and Wooten, the 6'8 senior, or rather 6'5 senior, is fouled.
That's Gresham's first foul of this quarter, as Coach John just pointed out to the official.
You know, we've asked a lot of these players if you have a relative, a cousin, a family member that excelled in athletics, assuming they would tell basketball stories. Greg Wooten here said, no, my grandfather was really good in archery. But Greg misfired there. Let's see if he can find the bullseye on this free throw. And he does. Wooten with 9 points now.
Well, Sheldon needs to, as you might say, put the finger in the dike here, and
Cromer is taking over. John Cromer. Here it is again. Blocked off Whelan with his body, and then Whelan ran right into him.
Well executed.
Some numbers on Cromer. In the first game against Pendleton, 8 points, but he had 11 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 3 steals. Then in Clackamas, he really took over for his teammate, Dan Meckel, who was hurting with the tonsillitis. Scored 21 points, 7 rebounds, hit 7 of 8 free throws, and was 2 of 6 from three-point range. And then last night against South Salem, 11 rebounds to go with his 12 points, 8 of 9 from the free throw line. He hits that one, and now the score is 39-35. Cromer with 9 points and 5 rebounds so far tonight.
Well, I think we'll hear John Cromer's name somewhere mentioned here tonight when they get to the all-tournament selection, too. He's really a fine player.
And he's so excitable. After the Clackamas game, we got a chance to interview him, and he couldn't stand still. We had to keep moving with him to keep him in the frame. He was so excited.
Well, that's what he needed to get going out here on the floor. I think that they got a little tentative in the first half. In that second quarter, Gresham did, and they needed to get excited.
Gresham fans chanting boring, boring in the background as the final seconds tick away of the third period.
Whoa.
Carter.
That used to be traveling in the old days.
Sheldon can't hit. Brian Ludwig comes down with the rebound, and that's the end of the third period. The Gresham Gopher fans have something to chant about now. Their team's back in it, trailing by only 4 after scoring only 4 in the second quarter. We'll be back with the fourth stanza after this.
What kind of tracks do you make when you drive? Traction? Performance? Four-wheel drive? Sport utility? Well, now at your Les Schwab Tire Centers, the tracks we're making are on sale. Z800's our most popular tire. Grand Am, Les Schwab's white letter performance tire. And in pickup, RV, van, and sport utility tires, our most popular tread designs. If you haven't shopped the spring sale yet, better make tracks.
Today's thoughts, tomorrow's reality. Power storage magnets, super colliders, zirconium, niobium, hafnium, metals from Teledyne Huacheng helping create a better tomorrow. Airplane wings to withstand speeds of over 20,000 miles per hour. Food packaging, trains riding on a cushion of air. Ceramics for high-speed communications. Today, Teledyne Huacheng's metals light our highways. Tomorrow's limits, man's imagination.
My wife bets me that I can't go into Builder's Square garden shop and get only what I need. Ha! Pruning shears, that's all I need are pruning shears. I don't need seed, fertilizer, hoses, sprinklers. No. I'm not the least bit interested in these yard tools. Even this weed terminator doesn't faze me. Look at these prices. So, I owe the wife $1.
Builder's Square, the warehouse with everything for your house and your garden.
There's Zach Pent in green, 37 points last night, 22 and 12 in the previous 2 games. Maybe here's a reason why Sheldon's lead has shrunk.
Well, Zach Pent did not get a shot off in that third quarter, and that's obviously not got to be in your game plans if you're Sheldon.
Eric Carter's follow is, though, and Sheldon ends the little drought, 41-35. Cromer.
Ooh.
He wanted
it looked like he may have gotten hammered there, but it's hard to tell.
I don't know if that one was hard to tell or not. Here's Pent. No shot, fouled by Valadez from behind, and even if he had shot it, it was blocked by Adam Walker.
Well, the officials have not called much around the basket all night, so, you know, they're being consistent. Well, it's been kind of a problem area in this tournament.
Larry Knudsen's team is back in the ball game, Jerry Murphy.
I think the big thing that Coach Larry Knudsen talked about is just spreading the floor offensively, attacking the middle. He notices that Sheldon has some foul problems. He wants to take advantage of that by operating in the paint.
And that means Zach Pent, number 32 in green, who has that foul problem, and that's their big gun. Sheldon working in his direction. Wooten is cornered and has to get it back out to Richardson. There's Pent. Walker couldn't reach it, but his teammate could. Brian Ludwig.
If Sheldon can continue, though, to get that every time down the floor, they'd be in good shape.
Cromer, nothing but net.
Two-pointer.
Richardson wants to get it inside, but can't. Carter with the follow. Oh, and he couldn't get it to roll in. Well, it truly is a state tournament with 2 teams, one from Gresham, one from Eugene. And once again, it comes down to sort of an I-5 tournament almost.
Just about. I say this is the Midwestern League's chance to win their first tournament in a number of years. It's Gresham's first chance to, obviously, they've never won a state championship. Well, neither one have ever won a state championship, so we're going to have a first for one of the teams. Well, I like the way Gresham is playing right now. Even though they're behind right here now by 4, maybe 5, they are playing much, much better basketball.
42-37. 5-point margin for the Irish. Monday, back to Walker. Cromer, he's open, and he continues to hit.
Great patience on the part of Gresham. Great patience.
.11 for Cromer. Pent couldn't control it, tried to dish it into the key, but there was nobody there but a Gopher. Ludnick leaves it short, almost got his own rebound. Richardson does, but Cromer dove right into it. Jerry Murphy is on the Gresham sidelines.
Just a few thoughts about Adam Walker for Gresham. You know, he's one of their postmen, and he's really listed as their center. He's an excellent passer. When he has room to operate in the middle, when he's cut off like he was a couple of plays ago, he's great at dishing that ball off, as he did it to Cromer there. He's just doing a fine job passing.
Number 10, Todd Wolter, came out for Sheldon. Scott Whelan back in the game for the Irish. And that is Whelan with the ball.
Well, Whelan's been kind of the steadying influence for this team throughout most of the year. Gives them, again, that ability to penetrate from their side, and they've missed his presence in the last few minutes.
Whelan, too hard. Cromer tried to tip it, and Meckel came up with it. A three-pointer ties the game, and there it is. Cromer!
Well, like I said, I kind of like the way Gresham's playing right now. But Sheldon has got to have a little patience here and get a good shot this possession.
Richardson from the foul line is short, and we have a whistle. Time to hear from Jerry Murphy.
Lou, right before that three-point bucket was hit, Coach Larry Knudsen came down right to me and said, Murph, this three-pointer's really working for us, and we're going to hit this one right here. We both turned around. It went up. The ball went down. The score's tied, as you can see.
Oh, my. There's Knudsen, needs a drink. He's been screaming so much, his throat's getting scratchy. 42-42. Pent inside short. Tip, no good. Meckel with the rebound. And now the Gophers, who have trailed almost the entire ball game, have a chance to take the lead.
He's open.
Meckel inside.
I think Coach Johns needs a timeout here. We got some
and he's motioning for it, but Gresham wants the ball. And it is Gresham's ball off of Michael Richardson.
You got the ball, Willard.
Yeah, I'll pass it out here. There we go.
There it is.
Well, Sheldon needs to take a timeout here. Chuck Johns has to discuss things with his Irish. So let's take this break. We'll return to the Memorial Coliseum after these messages.
At U.S. Bank, we believe some of life's most important lessons are learned outside the classroom. Of course, math isn't one of them.
The Ford Ranger is already America's best-selling compact pickup.
Right, so how can we make it even better?
We could add tiger stripes.
Nah.
Flower boxes?
No way.
How about a goldfish pond?
No.
Ooh, driver-activated auto gyro.
No, no, no.
How about offering 2.9% financing?
Yeah.
2.9% for 48 months?
Yes.
The Ford Ranger. Right now, you can get 2.9% financing for 48 months, but only until March 31st.
And only at your local Northwest Ford dealer.
We should throw in plaid wheels.
No.
Well, now things are really rocking. The Gresham fans and the Sheldon fans back and forth during the break because of this three-point jumper by John Cromer, which tied the game. 42-42. You say there's no emotion in the state tournament. That's John Cromer, and yes, he's pumped.
Well, Gresham just has to remember how they got here. And that was with patience. And unfortunately, that first possession after timeout, they got a little impatient there.
Greg Lunday. In fact, Greg is the one who told us the story about Coach Knudsen fainting because he was yelling so much. He said that he was yelling at me, too. Richardson inside to Carter. Cromer was on him. Meckel has the rebound. You know, Cromer and Meckel have really crashed the boards as well. Here's Cromer. Too much. Carter has the rebound. Turnabout's fair play.
It was nice defense.
3:50 to go in the ball game.
Zach Penn forced John to put a little more arch in that shot than he wanted. There's the inside play.
Carter knocked out of bounds.
Well, Sheldon has responded really well here to, I'm sure, what Coach Johns must have told him at the timeout. Showed some patience, got the ball inside. Here they are on the free throw line.
Adam Walker commits the foul. Ron Carlson.
Not the coolness we're used to seeing in the Sheldon huddle last time. There were a lot more fire in Coach John's eyes. He said we're not penetrating enough. He wants the ball more inside, and that's what they've done the last 2 times down the court.
Eric Carter can tie the game. And that's 8 points, 6 rebounds for Carter. We're tied once more. Neither team has ever won the state 4A boys basketball championship. Gresham hasn't been here in 38 years. Walker misses. Whelan takes time to dry off his face and then works the ball over into the corner where Zach Pent is. Walker all over him, and he knocks it.
Travel there anyway.
Walker knocked it loose, and the Gophers have it.
Well, both teams now need to rely on their defense and some patient offense.
The nice dish to Walker from John Valadez. Drew the defense to him and bounced past easy hoop.
Exactly. Great job. Well, that's what John's done for them throughout the tournament.
Pent.
Not sure you want to give Zach that shot.
Three-pointer. But a shorter Valadez on him, and he hits it.
Yeah.
Sheldon back in front by 1.
Not sure that's what you wanted to do defensively.
Well, you're certainly giving something up in height with Valadez guarding Pent, that's for sure. Valadez with the ball here to Walker. Lunday back to Valadez. Valadez is 5'10". He's guarded by Richardson, who is 5'11". Nice move by Lunday to get by.
Oh, he got a nice roll.
Good roll, good roll. Richardson quickly up court, but he's by himself. Whelan.
Get the ball to number 32.
And they do. There's Pent. Takes a step and then deals cross court to Richardson. Meckel with the rebound. Well, Gresham still hasn't patched up that matchup problem, though.
No,
Pent
they haven't.
at 6'4" is still being guarded by guys 5'6" inches shorter. Valadez.
Oh,
away
there's Zach Pent again. Better foul it now. That was a good foul. I think they had to try to. They'll put him on the line one-on-one. That was the 7th foul. I was thinking they didn't even have the 7th foul yet, but.
Well, the way Pent hits, he would have made that one. At least now he's got to think about the 2 he's going to get.
Yeah, he's got to go up there, and it's a one-on-one.
Gresham has 2 turnovers this half. Sheldon has only 6. Maybe that doesn't really play into things at this point, but nevertheless, Gresham's side wants to talk about things. 1 minute and 28 seconds to play in the ball game. Gresham is ahead by 1 point.
Well, we
okay,
have
Coach,
a ball game.
What now?
Well,
what's he saying to the Sheldon Irish?
Again, he's going to try to cover some situations here, and he's probably going to try to take the positive angle that they're going to make one or both these free throws. And I think what he's simply got to say is you've got to stop John Valadez from penetrating with the basketball, and also stay tight on Cromer. Make sure that's one shot only, and then come down and get a good shot for yourself.
And for Gresham?
Well, Gresham, some of the same. They're probably going to look at the possibility of being behind. They, too, have to show some patience and not panic. There's a chance for players at this stage to think that 128 is not a very long time, and it can be an eternity.
The timeout continues. Let's check in with Ron Carlson. Ron?
The big word down here was defense, Lou. The coach saying, listen, you guys, tough man-to-man no matter what we do on the line here. I don't want him getting a good shot at the other end. Basic, but he got his point through.
Zach Pent really all by himself, waiting for that moment at the free throw line. And now with the horn, Gresham returns from its team huddle and will take its position along the key.
Well, there are a lot of players that you think that might not be able to handle the pressure of this situation, but I think that Zach Penn is probably the right guy here for Sheldon.
Larry Knutson just turned to Jerry Murphy and said something. Jerry?
He's in good spirits. He told his guys, keep spreading the floor and keep having fun. And he told me there aren't any more TV timeouts, right, Murph? I said, right.
Well, we had an over-the-back call on Sheldon.
Eric Carter, so that means we'll go the other way.
Well, Zach got the ball up over the front of the rim, which is the main thing, but couldn't quite get it down.
Gresham leads by 1, and now Adam Walker, who wears number 34 because it's Charles Barkley's number. He's 2 for 2 from the free throw line tonight. Hasn't missed yet. The Sheldon band in the background jinxes him. Cromer trying to come up with the rebound, and he's called for the foul.
Well, I think the term is a little too much lactic acid in these kids' muscles right now, and it's a little tough to get it over that front of the rim and get it down.
So now we'll take the journey to the other end, and Scott Wieland will have some free throws.
This may be where Sheldon has the advantage, in that Sheldon's been in this tournament and had some success last year. Scott Wieland, for example, has, and that oftentimes pays fruit in this situation.
Wieland to tie the game here. 5 for 5 from the free throw line last night against Jefferson. But tonight from the free throw line, that was his second free throw of 10. So he's had his troubles tonight from the line. But he's perfect with those two, and now the Irish have a 1-point lead.
I'd say Gresham has to have some patience. Sheldon, of course, wants to try to limit them to one shot, and not a very good shot if they get their choice.
Valadez looks to Meckel, who looks to Cromer. Back to Valadez. They're down by 1, and we're approaching the 1-minute mark in the ball game.
Well, Gresham's not got very good motion right now.
Walker. He might have been able to keep going there. Cromer.
Lots of time.
You know, I look at Cromer, and I can kind of see Larry Bird almost. Valadez. 40 seconds to go. Gresham is down by 1. Larry Knutson has his arms up, preaching patience. They're going to wait for a good one. Valadez. Stripped away by Wieland. Cromer has it, and he is fouled. Sheldon almost could have salted the game away, but they couldn't get it, and Cromer comes up with the ball, and now Cromer has a chance to tie the ball game. Wieland has it there, then he falls.
Well, he got tripped.
And Cromer then is tackled by Richardson, and the ball rolls out of bounds.
I thought the first tackle got missed, the second one got called, but that happens in these games.
Cromer is perfect from the free throw line tonight. 3 for 3, 16 points, 6 rebounds. This is to tie the game. 28 seconds to go.
Well, Sheldon still has the advantage here, I think, the fact that they are going to get the last possession here unless there's a miss and a rebound by Gresham.
Tie game. Zach Pent wants a timeout. Almost traveled. And so, after an entire season of basketball, some 25, 6, 7 games, depending upon which team, it's all coming down to the final 23.6 seconds. And a tie ball game for Sheldon and Gresham.
Well, this is what it's all about. You know, the high school basketball at its best. I think right now that Sheldon, of course, has got to try to come down and get the ball into Zach Penn's hands. Either clear it out for him a little bit, maybe set a screen, or they've had some success by running him down low, screening for him inside, and bringing him into the middle. So I wouldn't be surprised if they might try that.
You saw Larry Knutson there out of the huddle with his assistant coaches, then go in to discuss things. Chuck Johns, on the other hand, had his team gathered around him at the horn, at the whistle of the timeout and is still discussing strategy with them. There are the Sheldon fans and Gresham fans going nuts for their teams, the Gresham cheerleaders. It all comes to count. 7,905 people here tonight to watch this exciting state championship game, and then a host of fans around the state watching on KVAL in Eugene and here on KETU Channel 2 here in Portland. Ron Carlson, what went on with Sheldon?
Well, probably no big surprise that Sheldon is going to work down for the last shot unless, and I underline unless, they get a lay-in. He says if we get a lay-in, let's take it. Otherwise, we're going to work down for the last shot, or he may call another timeout.
Jerry Murphy.
Well, they know the ball is going to go to Zach Pence, and the man who's going to be in charge of trying to stop Zach Pence is John Cromer, the man who scored so many points here in the second half. We'll see if he can do it now defensively.
Michael Richardson. Cromer is 30. He is flagging Pent at the top left of your screen.
Gresham has gone to a man-to-man for the first time tonight.
Carter. 10 seconds to go. Wheeland. Ball game is tied. Wheeland. Inside, knocked away. Carter tips it out. We have a whistle. And it will be Gresham's ball with 2.5 seconds to play. Time out, Gresham.
Well, there may be an overtime in our future here.
Well, it's still early. The news isn't on until 11. We might as well fill all the way, huh?
Well, there's some interesting tactics that you can try now. With 2.4 seconds, it is possible to try to throw the ball around the half-court area, call another timeout, and then run a side inbounds play where your next pass is
because
very long.
When Gresham takes the ball out, they will take it out underneath the basket right where the cheerleaders are, right?
That's correct. The other tactic, obviously, would be to try to throw the ball, 2/3, 3/4 the length of the floor, the half line at least, and get a quick dribble and shoot it. The other thing Gresham might do is settle for an overtime game.
49-49. They haven't been here in 38 years. Sheldon's never been to the title game, looking for its title shot.
Well, lots of people did not give Gresham much of a chance in this game tonight. They didn't give Gresham lots of chance last night in the contest, and I think they've done themselves proud. Coach Lloyd Knutson's been remarkable.
Let's get an idea what Gresham wants to try. Jerry Murphy?
You've got a quick play set up to get that ball to half court. If they do that successfully, they'll call another timeout and set up a play and get a shot.
And John Cromer just came over to one of the officials and told him exactly that. Adam Walker now is motioning to his team. And Ron Carlson, I'm sure you know what Sheldon discussed defensively.
Well, they couldn't get it to John. So they took their second choice, which was a safe, conservative route.
We're on to overtime. And so we'll take a brief pause. The teams get a chance to rest for a moment. So do we. And then we regroup. Ron Carlson and Jerry Murphy have gone back into the team huddles to hear what the coaches like Chuck Johns here, who has been to the state tournament before as a player, as we said, in 1959, and now is back. Gresham has been to the sub-tournament a couple of times, but never to the show. And in their first trip to the show in 38 years, they're in the big one.
Well, in fact, this is the first time since 1984 there has not been a PIL Portland team in the finals. And I think that these teams have represented their leagues very well. Both champions, both only lost one game all year long. It's too bad they both can't be the winner tonight. Actually, they will both be the winners, but unfortunately, only one will get that first place trophy.
Yeah, well, after regulation, they're both the winners because it's tied.
That's right.
49-49. A brief note while we look at the bands and the players are getting ready. Run down the foul situation for you. For Sheldon, Michael Richardson, number 14, their guard, has 4 fouls. Guards Scott Whelan, number 20, and Zach Pent, the high-scoring forward, both have 3 fouls. For Gresham, Valadez, the guard, 3 fouls, and Meckel, Dan Meckel, the forward, with 3 fouls. A 3-minute overtime period. And we'll begin with the jump ball. Dan Meckel, number 31, will jump it up in the center of the court with number 15, Greg Wooten, and the Gophers control. Ron Carlson, what did Sheldon talk about?
Basically, he just said he wants more penetration on offense so he can free up the outside shot to kick it back outside to Pent or the other open shooter.
John Cromer. Whelan. Zach Pent just wants to take the 3. And Walker's just playing off him. He's almost daring him to take it. And that's why Walker's playing off, because he knows Penn wants to take that step. Whelan, and he'll go right back to Penn. From 3. Nothing. Saved by Richardson. Meckel has it. And Kromer is tackled by Zach
Intentional.
Penn.
Oh. Could have easily been called an intentional foul.
1-1 is the indication from the officials, but that's the best football tackle I've seen in a while.
Oh, there's much doubt that he reached out, grabbed him, and pulled him down on purpose because he knew that they had a lay-in.
Watch Kromer. Pence 32.
Watch this. I mean, if that isn't an intentional foul, I don't know what is.
Well,
the key is not only do you lose the 2 free throws, Gresham would have a possession of the ball.
He spins that one in, and now a 3-point advantage for the Gresham Gophers. Jerry Murphy, an observation as we watch Kromer.
John Cromer's got the ball in his hands, and that's what they want. He's going to be the guy they go to in this overtime. That's from Larry Knudsen.
He's matched his tournament high of 21 points.
Coach John wants a timeout.
And so with 2:10, that's still a lot of time. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. The Gophers now have a 4-point margin.
Well, yes, eternity left, 2:10. That probably means about 6 more free throws by each team and 2 more timeouts by each coach.
A little more nail-biting by fans.
That's right. That's right. Well, I thought that maybe Sheldon would have a little advantage at this stage of the set because they'd been to the tournament last year. But I'll tell you, John Kromer has been an amazing young man in the last 16, 18, 17 now minutes of this basketball game. He's pretty well controlled for Gresham.
Kromer said he had been playing basketball since the 3rd grade. Would like to attend either Linfield or Willamette when he graduates from Gresham. He's not sure yet where.
Well, whoever gets him's got a jewel.
Okay, let's check in with Ron Carlson, who was in the huddle there with Zach Pent.
Lots of encouragement from the coach this time, saying, listen, guys, we can get a good shot. Let's just work for it. There's lots of time left. No reason to panic. Be patient. Let's work it inside and kick it back out for a good open jump shot here.
Jerry Murphy, how about Gresham?
Larry Knudsen's right here in front of me. He asked me if I'm having fun. I said, you bet. He said he is too. Beware of the 3-point jumper, and they're going to spread the ball on offense.
Here's Pent. Out to Richardson. Pent. Meckel keeps him from putting up the 3. Wooten didn't have any room. Back to Pent. Tipped out by Valadez, but Richardson could get that one.
Well, Sheldon's being patient, but it's...
Wooten with the alley-oop couldn't control it. Carter inside, reverse, no good. Kromer tries to knock it away. Valadez had a beat
Pent
on it, but there's Pent. Yes, a 3-pointer. Walker calmly got it back to Valadez, and now they work it over the
Sheldon's
timeline.
gone to a little trap defense. Created the turnover, and they'll be going to the line.
Kromer
What a
charged
quick
with the
turnaround
foul.
of events.
1 minute and 12 seconds to go. Kromer whistled with the foul there, I believe, and will go down to the other end where Greg Wooten, here it is again. Watch Kromer 30, leans into Pent to try to knock the ball loose.
Well, it was good strategy on Sheldon's part. Of course, they scored, came right back with some zone trapping defense that they hadn't played all night, and Gresham didn't handle it.
Here's Pent. Kromer the rebound.
Well, the question is now, can Gresham hold the ball for a minute or make their free throws, or both?
That was 1 minute and 6 seconds on the screen. You couldn't see the 1. Now we hit the 1 minute mark. Gresham nearly threw it away, but Valadez climbed the ladder to save it.
Gresham is throwing some pretty risky passes here.
Well,
Sheldon a basic man-to-man.
Walker had a clean scoop, but he's fouled on the way.
Well, Adams going to need to make those. He missed one last night late in the game, and he missed one earlier here, and I'm sure he's eager to redeem himself and needs to make at least one of these, if not both.
Here's Walker, and he knows he needs to make these. It's a very smart player. He's already been accepted at Harvard and Linfield, but hasn't made up his mind. 2 for 3 tonight, and he misses. Gresham leads by 1. Whelan. Pent.
He's got to lay in.
He does, and Sheldon has the lead. 25 seconds to play. Gresham trailing by 1.
We're trying to run a little clear-out action.
Cromer falls down. Valadez goes himself off the glass. Rebound by Wooten.
Got a foul.
Meckel fouls Eric Carter with 10.9 seconds to play. Sheldon beginning a little celebration along their bench.
Well, even if he makes both, we have to remember that that's only going to put him up 3. Gresham has some three-point shooters.
And while you've been watching the crowd, Coach Larry Knutson of Gresham called John Valadez over, told him what the strategy is should any of these free throws be missed.
Well, the key for Gresham is they've got to be alert so that if he does miss any of these free throws, they get the rebound.
Well, they want Carter to think about it, so the Gresham Gophers have called timeout with 10.9 seconds to go. And the Irish leading by 1, 54 to 53. Chuck Johns, no doubt preaching patience, and with that booming bass voice of his, he can. Knutson on the other side has that scratchy, high-pitched, I would think almost inaudible voice.
Well, they're probably both almost inaudible at this point. 4 days, the tournament is very tough on a coach's voice. And overtime makes it almost impossible.
There's Eric Carter. 6'4", 190 pounds, has been chewing that mouthpiece all night. He has scored 4 points against Wentz Lynn in the first game of the tournament. 11 points, 7 rebounds, 2 blocks against Hillsborough, and then 4 points, 8 rebounds in 15 minutes against Jefferson. Jerry Murphy was in the Gresham huddle.
If Sheldon makes both these foul shots, then Gresham will come down and they'll get the ball to Cromer, and he'll try and shoot a three-pointer. If he makes one of these or none, then Gresham is going to go to the hoop, and they'll try and kick it back outside once again to Cromer, possibly Lunday.
Ron Carlson over with Sheldon.
The main thing is now that he's missed it, they don't want any fouls, and they don't want to give up a layup. He wants tough defense here.
There's Cromer for 3.
No, it's off. Time for a rebound.
Walker and Sheldon.
What a great basketball game.
Look at the players. For the first time this tournament, I'm seeing the Sheldon Irish smile and cry right before St. Patrick's Day. The players celebrate, and Chuck Johns is still cool, but he's a state champion now, Ron Carlson.
Hey, okay. Coach, you got to admit that at the end of that ball game, your blood pressure went up just a little bit, didn't it?
It did. I mean, if we make our free throws in the fourth quarter and later on, I mean, we didn't probably have to worry about it, but we didn't. Gresham played tough, and I thought we held in there tough. You know, it was this great ball game. You know, I mean, people had opportunities. We didn't make some, they made some, and so I don't know, it's a great ball game. When we got 4 behind in the overtime, I thought the kids really hung in there. Zach made a big shot on the 3 to put us within 1. We came back.
Let's talk about the game Eric Carter had, too, because he did a tremendous job on defense on their big man.
Well, Eric Carter is a tough kid. Tough kid, good rebounder, good defensive player, you know, just a heck of a kid.
Well, tell me what you're feeling right now. I mean, this is the first for Sheldon, the first state championship ever.
My heart's going fast. My heart's going fast. I'm feeling great.
Okay, Coach. Thanks a lot. Congratulations to you. We'll get a couple players here for you in just a second, Lou.
Okay, Ron, we're watching the Sheldon players with the traditional removal of the net. That's Scott Wieland, the 6'2 senior. The Sheldon fans celebrating. And let's go to Ron Carlson. Ron, you've got Eric Carter with you.
Eric, come here. Tell me about this, buddy. This was a tremendous ball game for you guys. First time all season I've seen you a little bit shook there at the end, but you came back.
Yeah, that's the first time we've been down in the tournament. And I thought we had them there at the start, and I think we kind of let up, and we got them back in the game. But at the end, they were ahead, and we kept our composure, and we turned it out, and now we're number one.
First time ever for Sheldon. How's it feel?
Feels great. I don't know what else to say.
Okay. Tell me about your defensive effort tonight, because you really had to work hard in there on their big man. He gave you quite a lot of work.
Yeah, they were setting a lot of screens, and I had to get through, but I had a lot of help, and he did a good job. He had 17 points, so it's not a great job. But
tell me one thing, though. When you were standing there on the free throw line at the end, I saw a Gresham player walk up and say something to you. Do you care to share what that was?
Well, he was trying to make me miss, and I guess he did, but that's okay. He just said something, and it's all in the game. You know, I got a little upset afterwards, but that's okay. As long as we win, that's fine with me.
You're holding the state trophy, though. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lou. Thank you, Ron. The Sheldon fans from Eugene are only few strands away from removing that net. And Ron Carlson busy grabbing a couple of other players there. We'll get back to him in just a second. Go ahead, Ron.
Okay, we're here with Scott Whelan now. Scott, that ball game was really a pressure cooker for you guys. It's the first time in the tournament you've been behind. And what was going on through your mind? I saw you intense in that huddle there saying, we got to play great defense here.
Yeah, we were back and forth the whole game. We know we had defensive letdowns. We'd come back, we'd let them back in the game. It just turned out that they missed the last shot and that we got it.
What's going on through your mind right now? I mean, obviously, it's a great moment for Sheldon and for the whole community in Eugene there.
I'm just exhausted. I mean, I'm exhausted from the game and just celebrating afterwards. I mean, it's the best feeling I've ever had.
Well, maybe it'll sink in a little bit more tomorrow, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Tell me what you think about this whole effort now. And the whole year you guys have been together, only one loss all season long. I mean, to culminate it all in a couple sentences, I know is hard, but try and do that for us.
Well, I mean, it's just a dream come true. I mean, you talk about this before the season, you know, kind of hush-hush. You don't want your coach to hear you talking like that. But, you know, we talk about it, how great it would be to win the state championship. And we did it, and it's just the best feeling.
I'm sure it does feel like a national championship, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Congratulations, Scott. Lou?
Thank you very much, Ron. Well, we're only beginning our post-game celebration. We're going to celebrate with all the teams from the state tournament, and our celebration begins right after these messages from the state tournament.
Today's thoughts, tomorrow's reality. Power storage magnets, super colliders, zirconium, niobium, hafnium, metals from Teledyne Huacheng helping create a better tomorrow. Airplane wings to withstand speeds of over 20,000 miles per hour. Food packaging, trains riding on a cushion of air. Ceramics for high-speed communications. Today, Teledyne Huacheng's metals light our highways. Tomorrow's limits, man's imagination.
At the Bite Shop at Smith's, you'll find a budget-pleasing price on a computer that's just your cup of tea. Like this leading technology PC that's perfect for storing recipes. Or testing the racing skills of rookie stunt drivers. Homework's a snap on your very own Macintosh. And IBM makes work at home no work at all. All at Smith's low prices. All with long-term deferred financing. For computer technology made simple, come to the Bite Shop at Smith's Home Furnishings.
Today's big news in tire sales is happening now at your Les Schwab Tire Centers. Excellent savings on all-season steel radials. In a premium 50,000-mile all-season radial, Mega 4, our best prices ever. Custom wheels, we got a major price cut from our suppliers. These savings are passed on to you. And yet, the really big story at Les Schwab is the day-in, day-out spirit of service and customer satisfaction. If you haven't been in before, this would be an excellent time. The Les Schwab Spring Tire Sale.
KATU Channel 2 Sports now presents the post-game show. Here's KATU Sports Director Lou Gellos.
Well, before we go to Lou, we want to talk to Larry here. Larry, that was an exciting ball game. It's got to hurt a little bit because you guys had it right there at the end.
Yeah, our kids played great. I'm so proud of them. You know, I think that was a fun high school basketball game, and Sheldon made some good plays down the end. I don't think we blew it or anything. I think Sheldon just made some good plays. Penn hit that 3 when they were down 4 and got them right back in it. And our kids came back and played hard, and we had some chances, and it just didn't happen. You know, somebody had to win, somebody had to lose, and I'm proud as heck of our kids.
Well, I would be proud, too, especially the way they came back when it looked like Sheldon was going to blow it open.
Oh, they got us down early, you know, and we could have folded up, and the same thing happened last night against South Salem, and we came back and showed a lot of composure and a lot of heart. We've had a number of close games, and I thought we did some good things down the stretch, just didn't turn our way.
Well, Larry, you're a class act. We appreciate you letting us stick in our nose in your huddle, and great job this year, Gresham. I'm sure we'll see you back here again.
Hey, I hope so. And I tell you what, I'm a little disappointed Murphy on our bench. I was asking for plays, but you wouldn't help us out.
Well, thanks a lot, Larry. Congratulations. Lou, over to you.
Thank you, Ron, and welcome everybody around the state. It's time for our awards presentation to our winners in the state tournament. The first presentation this evening will be the annual Sportsmanship Awards, which will be made by Dick Burnham, Executive Vice President of U.S. Bank, the official sponsor of the Sportsmanship Awards, and Alex Jovis of Reynolds High School, who is a member of the OSAA Sportsmanship Committee. Winning third place in the sportsmanship competition, Hillsborough High School. Will a representative please come forward? If somebody from Hillsborough's coming, shout out, okay? So we know you're on your way. Coming right over here. Here we go. Winning second place in the sportsmanship competition, Gresham High School. Will a representative from Gresham please come forward? Dan Meckel accepting the award on behalf of Gresham. And first place in the sportsmanship competition, South Salem High School. Will a representative from South Salem step forward? Any representative from South Salem? If not, we will, oh, here she comes. Congratulations. Dick Burnham will now present the tournament bracket board, which was made available through efforts of U.S. Bank. Will the rally squad from Sheldon High School please come forward to accept the board? Right over. Steve Wisely, the superintendent of Medford Public Schools and vice president of the OSAA Executive Board, and Dick Burnham of U.S. Bank will present the consolation, fourth place, third place, second place, and championship trophies. They'll be assisted here by Don Peterson, the executive director of the OSAA. The consolation trophy is awarded to North Eugene High School. Will a representative from North Eugene please step forward? Winning the fourth place trophy, Beaverton High School. Will a representative from Beaverton come forward? Congratulations to Beaverton. Winning the third place trophy, Jefferson High School. Will the representatives from Jefferson come forward? Congratulations to Jefferson. The second place trophy to Gresham High School. The 4A state champions, Sheldon High School. Steve Wisely and Dick Burnham will now present gold and silver medals to the first and second place team members. Will the teams please line up at the respective foul lines so that the dignitaries may present you with your individual medals. And for the final part of the awards ceremony, Don Peterson will present medals to the first and second all-tournament team members. As we call your name, at the conclusion of the medals being handed out here, would you all please come down to the center of the floor here to receive your individual honors as members of the Oregon State all-tournament team. First, the second team. From West Lynn High School, Sean Haskett. It's right there. Sean scored 73 points in the tournament and pulled down 32 rebounds. Hey, Sean, just leap over, buddy. Also on the all-tournament second team from South Salem, Joe Douglas. Joe for the tournament, 18 assists and 14 rebounds. Also on the all-tournament second team, from Beaverton High School, Stuart Bailey. For the tournament, Stuart with 55 points, 27 rebounds, and 6 steals. Also all-tournament second team from North Eugene, Ty Lockard. "65 points, 12 assists, 6 steals. And rounding out the all-tournament second team from South Salem, Alan Fish. Sign of Alan. Are you here, Alan? Okay, we'll move on then to the all-tournament first team. From Gresham, Dan Meckel. "53 points, 22 rebounds. Congratulations, Dan. From Sheldon, Scott Wayland. "44 points and 20 assists. Also on the all-tournament first team from Jefferson High School, Denmark Reed. Denmark with 15 steals in the tournament and 109 points. Two more spots on the all-tournament first team from Gresham High School, John Cromer. And the final member of the all-tournament first team for the state of Oregon, from Sheldon High School, Zach Pent. Your Oregon State all-tournament teams. Drive safely, everyone. Thanks for coming. We'll see you next year, and we hope we see you next year, too. Good night, everybody.
If it's oldies on FM, it must be 97.1 K.